Hello and welcome to video 4 of this course, teaching ChatGPT evolutionary culturology via custom instructions. So this lesson covers adding in 2 custom instructions to make ChatGPT understand EvCult, and those 2 instructions are: what would you like ChatGPT to know? We'd like it to know EvCult, the meta science. And how would you like ChatGPT to respond when you ask it questions? We'd like it to answer like an evolutionary culturologist, like it was actually a meta scientist. The problem that we have that we need to solve, which we will in this lesson, is that by default ChatGPT doesn't understand about evolutionary culturology. Remarkable though that is. But if you've watched the first 3 videos of this course, you already know a lot more than ChatGPT about the meta science of EvCult. So how do we get that information into ChatGPT? And by the way, you don't have to do this, but if you go to the EvCult blog on that URL down the bottom there's a long list of links to evolutionary culturology books, encyclopedia chapters, journal articles, book chapters, conference papers, videos, online articles, and much more. But again, the problem is ChatGPT doesn't know that information. So we just need to put in some custom instructions. That's a shortcut to knowing EvCult. So just to recap, the problem is by itself or by default or out of the box, ChatGPT doesn't understand about the 3 scale levels of science. On the bright side, by default, it does understand already about the individual sciences, physics, chemistry, astronomy, etc. So it has that knowledge, which is great. And again, by default, ChatGPT doesn't know the meta sciences such as systems science, information science, communication science, etc. And it doesn't know how those apply to each of the individual sciences. So it doesn't recognize that all of physics, all of the entities in physics, all of the units are systems, and they can be reduced to fractal holon partons in EvCult. So the other problem is not only does it not know about the meta sciences and how they apply individually to all the individual sciences, but it certainly doesn't know about EvCult, which is a meta science, because it goes a step beyond even systems science and reduces all systems and units of culture or tools to their simpler scientific structural and functional entities, fractal holon partons. We know all this because we've seen the first 3 videos of this course. So we need to tell ChatGPT what EvCult is and how it applies to the meta sciences and the individual sciences. And of course, ChatGPT also doesn't know about fractal holon partons, what they are and how they work, and how all systems and units of culture are fractal holon partons. And by default, ChatGPT also doesn't know about the 3 laws of fractal holon partons, so we have to teach it that. It also doesn't know this 5-part definition of a system, which we know. It doesn't know this diagram of a system with the 5 parts, inputs, outputs, etc. It doesn't know this diagram where we've scientifically reduced the inputs and the outputs to fractal Holon partons, as well as the system that's using the inputs and outputs. So in short, ChatGPT doesn't know this, that systems and units of culture are fractal Holon partons. And it doesn't know all domains in culture are fractal Holon partons. And it doesn't know Ev Cult in 6 sentences like we learnt in the last lesson either. Nor does it know all nature, biology and culture are fractal Holon partons governed by the 3 laws. So it doesn't know this new Ev Cult worldview with the 3 laws going through everything. And it doesn't know any of that. So by itself, ChatGPT doesn't know this. And it doesn't know Ev Cult is a single standard universal one-size-fits-all set of meta scientific units, scale levels, evolutionary mechanisms and 3 laws that apply to all domains. And it doesn't know that Ev Cult is a solution to consilience, the unity of knowledge, with the vertical integration of the sciences and turning the arts and humanities into a science as well. So that's our problem, how to make ChatGPT understand Ev Cult. Here's how we do it. All we do is copy and paste the 2 custom instructions or the chunks of text which are attached into ChatGPT to make it understand Ev Cult. We're giving it instructions on what would you like ChatGPT to know, and in that instruction you might have to change the name of your country or nation there as well, and paste that in. And how would you like ChatGPT to respond? Paste those 2 instructions in. So here's how we insert the custom instructions into ChatGPT. You simply, once you're in ChatGPT-4, you just go down to your name, down the bottom, click on that, go up to custom instructions, click that. And in these 2 windows, you can paste in the custom instructions. My nation is Australia currently, so you might need to change yours, but that's maxed out. So, and then we scroll down to the second window and we paste the second instruction in there, which you'll see attached below. And so we ask it to know Ev Cult and to respond like an evolutionary culturologist. Save that, and now your custom instructions are inserted and ChatGPT should be able to answer knowing Ev Cult. So you can ask it anything you like, explain Ev Cult in a nutshell or whatever. And don't forget, there's all those other custom GPTs on the Ev Cult blog, the Ev Cult tutor, if you have any further questions. But this Ev Cult educated GPT should also now be able to answer some questions and write essays with an Ev Cult perspective and so on. So that's pretty much all there is to that. So we just paste those 2 instructions in, custom instructions, and ChatGPT knows Ev Cult. At least enough to get by. And as a test, you can test it out now. Ask the Ev Cult educated ChatGPT any one of the prompts that are attached, and you can test its new understanding of Ev Cult. This will come in handy later. So that's it. This video has taught how to use 2 custom instructions to make ChatGPT understand EvCult. And coming up in the next lesson, using Python to do an evolutionary culturology analysis of a text. I'll look forward to seeing you then. Bye for now.